Hi everyone, this is Anthony here from Anthony's Hobby Corner. I figured on today's video I will share with you the do's and don'ts of how to clean your track on your model railway layout. Now, reason I chose to shoot this video is because there are many different techniques that people have adopted throughout the years out there available either on the internet or on YouTube. And been in this hobby since I guess the 1980s. I've pretty much tried all those different techniques. And in the last 10 years or so, I've found that a certain technique works out to be the most effective and the most safe for your locomotives, for your track, and for your layout. And the techniques I'm about to share with you are also well adapted by some very mature individuals in the model railroad industry, and those who are well respected in that domain as well. So I figured I might as well share the techniques I use, which is very similar to what they've outlined, but I figured I'll put some additional explanation around them. Okay, so the objective of cleaning your track really is twofold, right? One is to improve the conductivity between your wheels and the track as the locomotives run on your layout. And number two is that you want to remove oxidation and any kind of dirt or debris that builds up on your tracks as a result of running locomotives on your layout. So those are two objectives: remove dirt and debris and not impede conductivity. Okay? So if you look at it from that standpoint, really it's very simple as to how you tackle this issue. Now, if we were to figure out as to why dirt builds up on your track, well, that's based on the fundamentals of electricity passing through your rails to your wheels. Whenever you pass electricity from your rails to your wheels, there is electrical charge buildup between those two surfaces. And as there's charge buildup, it attracts dirt that's around there, and then it actually adheres itself over to the rail or the wheel as the locomotives pass by. So one phenomenon that you perhaps notice is that if you are running a DCC system or something like a Markland system, which is a three-rail AC system, in general, you will attract less dirt than a standard DC system. And that is attributed to the fundamental nature of alternating current, where you're switching polarities back and forth between the rails. And in doing so, you don't induce a single type of charge on any one rail, and therefore there's less dirt being attracted to it. Well, regardless, most of us are running DC or DC systems, but no matter what systems you run, you will always attract dirt on your track. All right, so that's the theory behind why dirt gets attracted and how we need to address that moving forward. So now that we have objectives and we know why, let's figure out what not to use. So many people out there have used either sandpaper as abrasive material to remove the dirt off the track, fine sandpaper perhaps. Some have also used these type of products, which I believe are called track rubbers. And as you can see, there's a sparkle to it as I'm moving it around, because track rubbers like these are a man-made compound between the combination of glue, rubber, and metal particles, as you can see, that has a shine on here that gives it abrasive nature. Well, the problem with that is as you use track rubber on your tracks, it will tend to powder off, and in the process of powdering off, it will actually be abrasive against your track and remove the dirt from your track. So it is effective in removing dirt from your track. However, the harm is in the deposit it leaves behind. In doing so, being abrasive nature, it actually puts scratches all over your track. And when you have scratches on your rails, you leave room and create an opportunity for dirt to bind onto those scratches. And when dirt binds onto scratches, you'll have layers and layers building up, which is not very visible to your eye as much. But as a result, you have horrible running of locomotives thereafter. Okay, and on top of that, as you use track rubbers, it actually powders off and leaves a powdered residue all over your track. And if you don't vacuum that off properly, that itself now binds back onto between the wheels and the rails and starts to adhere to dirt, and you have more dirt on your track now. So if you're using an abrasive mechanism, do not do that anymore. You will destroy your track. Okay, so take your track rubbers and put them away. So the key here is the smoother your track, the less dirt that's going to bind, because the phenomenon of dirt being in your surroundings is something you really can't help. So then the objective here is to minimize the adhesion of dirt onto your track. Hence, try to keep your track as smooth as possible. So what should you be using then? The approach you should use really is a more chemical-based approach. Okay, and so having said that, you'll see many people have used various different chemicals from WD-40 and a whole bunch of different chemicals out there. But I'm going to share with you which chemicals you should not use and which ones you should use going forward. Okay, so here are some products I'm going to share with you which you should never use on your track. Example, you'll find something like this. This really is a nail polish remover. Okay, and it's an acetone based product. So anything that acetone based is extremely dangerous for your track because it's really harsh on plastic and also on paint that you actually put in your surroundings here. So do not use acetone on your tracks. Okay, so there's one item you should not be using. Now, number two is a very commonly used product out there that I've seen in many people using when they clean their layouts. I've seen people using what they refer to as IPA, or isopropyl alcohol. Okay, this is extremely ineffective, and please do not use isopropyl alcohol on your tracks. And I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, isopropyl alcohol by itself, if it was 100% concentration, or let's say 99.9% concentration of alcohol, then yes, it would be effective on your track because it's alcohol based. And alcohol does a great job cleaning your track, and it also evaporates with no residue. However, commercially available isopropyl alcohol like these are never 100% or 99% alcohol. Most of the time, they're either 50%, or in this case, as you can see, this one is 70% alcohol, also referred to as rubbing alcohol. Do not use these products on your track. What happens is that when you apply isopropyl alcohol on your track, yes, because it's 70%, the remaining 30% primarily constitutes of water. And because there's water, what really happens here is that the alcohol then evaporates and leaves a tiny film of water left on your track, which you can't even see to the naked eye. Well, that water then starts to oxidize the top layer of your track. And I'm running all nickel silver rails and track, but even nickel silver will oxidize on a thin layer film on the top of your track, which then starts to impede one of the objectives that I mentioned before, which is conductivity. It's not dirt, but it impedes conductivity. And as a result, you'll see clean track, but your engines, locomotives run absolutely horribly. And this is something that even the gentleman from Fishplate Films articulates very well. So do not use isopropyl or rubbing alcohol on your tracks. Okay? Okay, so now that I've shown you which products not to use, let me now focus on which products I've found to be the most effective in cleaning your track and the most safe at the same time. So one of the products I've chosen here that I've got in front of the screen here is a electrical contact cleaner. Now, the reason I chose an electrical contact cleaner, because if you recall, our original objectives was to not impede electrical conductivity and also to remove any kind of dirt, debris, or oxidation that may occur on your track. Well, guess what? This product does exactly that. is designed to clean contacts in electrical motors, contactors, relays, etc., switches, etc. Wherever you have an electrical arc that may take place, it's designed to clean those areas without impacting the conductivity, and it's designed to remove all the debris and dirt. So there you go, an ideal product to address both those objectives. However, there are some caveats. Okay, so number one, when you look for an electrical contact cleaner, make sure that you're looking for one that is plastic safe. There are both kinds of contact cleaners. Some of them are plastic safe, some of them are not. So make sure if you start to look for one and you pick one up, make sure you read in the back here to make sure that it's actually plastic safe, number one. And then number two, if you do pick it up, first try it out on a test piece of track to make sure that it does not impact your railroad ties or sleepers or any kind of plastic objects around your layout. Okay, and so the other caveat here, if you're choosing to use an electrical contact cleaner, and let's assume you found one that is plastic safe, the issue with electrical contact cleaners I've found so far is that if you are like me, where you have a layout that has a lot of foam surrounding it, close by here, and you happen to accidentally spill some on the foam, well, electrical contact cleaners that I've come across, plastic or non-plastic safe, they tend to eat into the foam. Okay, so I've used electrical contact cleaner for over 3 years now, and I have had no issues because I've been careful on how I apply it on my track. And basically, if you put some electrical contact cleaner on a piece of cloth or on a sponge and you apply it directly onto your rails, you'll have no issues. All I'm sharing with you as a word of caution is that do not just spray it on your track as so, because then you'll have a lot of overspray all over your surroundings, and if there's foam in your surroundings, it'll completely eat through it. All right, so those are the caveats, is that electrical contact cleaner eats through foam, so be careful when you apply it, and secondly, look for one that is plastic safe. Okay, so the second product I want to share with you, and if you're concerned about eating through foam, and I came across this product that also works very well, and they're referred to as electronic cleaners. Now, this one that I have here has a little drawback to it because it's what's referred to as the QD electronic cleaner. And what I believe they mean by QD is that it's a quick dry electronic cleaner. And I think most electronic cleaners by nature are quick dry because they're designed to spray on electrical circuit boards, etc., to remove any kind of dirt, residue, and gunk on circuit boards and not impact the conductivity. So either way, what I found this product to be even more safer than electrical contact cleaners, because this one I've also sprayed it all over foam, and it does not eat into foam. So it is foam safe, and it's also plastic safe. So this really has, it's really a win-win for this product. However, you may not be able to find something like this in your local demographic, but typically most people who are in most places that actually fix electronics will keep these things, so obviously there must be a market for it there. So why am I sharing both these products with you? Because I've found that both of these have been very effective in cleaning track. I've used them for at least the last 4 years now, and my locomotives have never run any better than they are running now. So I've found that there's no residue on your track, visible or invisible, from that standpoint, because the conductivity is phenomenal. And they're extremely safe. This one you just got to be careful about foam, but other than that, it is extremely safe. And if you look at the characteristics of both of these products, They're non-silicone based. They'd have no distillates in them. And so therefore, they leave zero residue back on your track. And that's one of the fundamental objectives that we wanted to achieve in cleaning your track. And that's why I'm recommending these products. But again, use them with caution. Test them out on a test surface somewhere before you start putting them on your tracks. And I'm sure you're going to have some phenomenal results. All right, so in summary, do not use any abrasives on your track when you go to clean your track. Do not use sandpapers. Do not use these track rubbers. Absolutely horrible for your track. And they will actually introduce more dirt and debris if you don't vacuum the debris properly. Okay. Do not use products like acetones and isopropyl alcohol and WD-40, etc., because again, they do leave residue on your track. Again, visible or invisible to your naked eye, they do leave a residue on your track. And that will then attract dirt and debris, or it will then promote oxidation. All right, so when you pick a product, if you think of it from that standpoint, you'll be able to find the most appropriate products for you. What I've come across has been very effective, and I'm sharing these with you with some words of caution, which I think are easily addressed. And by no means am I endorsing these products. These what happen to be locally available to me. But again, I'm sure you can find your own versions of these products in your own local demographic. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. If you do, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to acknowledge and or respond to them. Thanks again. Take care.